Shelley Winter Show live, local, topical, and relevant. Everybody hold on. Woo! So, here's the headline. Stacey Abrams linked group received $2 billion, with a B, not million, $2 billion from Biden administration slush fund Doge fines. The group existed for just 6 months at the time it received the grant and reported just $100 in revenue during its first 3 months of operation. Good work if you can get it. The Power Forward Communities, PFC, the nonprofit, was established in October 2023 and received the $2 billion grant in April of 2024, just 6 months after it began operating. $2 billion. Came out of the EPA. Lee Zeldin found it. $2 billion. Now, well, I mean, that's the story. That's the story right there. That's the story. $2 billion. $2 billion. I'm reading $2 billion. Someone called in and said it was $2 million. No, it says $2 billion right here several times. Received $2 billion right there. Received $2 billion right there. 8 groups received $20 billion. For an organization that has no experience in this, that was literally just established and had $100 in the bank to receive a $2 billion grant, it doesn't just fly in the face of common sense, is out and out fraud. Unbelievable. 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 And the thing is, so if you hate Trump, if you hate Musk, if you hate Doge, if you hate all of this, ask me this. How can you defend or in any way, shape, or form say it's not real? Because this is what I've seen. I posted this earlier today on my social media. You can follow me on Facebook, Shelley Winter, SHELLEYWYNTER. You can follow me on Twitter, Shelley Winter 1. I posted this, and people were saying, where's the proof? That's what they said. Literally, that's what they said. That's what they said. Where's your proof? We're just taking their word for it? And I'm like, huh? You've been taking the word for it of everything since 2017. You've literally taken the word for everything that's come down the pike since 2017, and now all of a sudden someone points this out, and you're like, well, all I see is headlines. Huh? Headlines. Read the story. The $20, this is the whole slush fund. $20 billion slush fund was discovered by Lee Zeldin's staff and Doge earlier this month. Roughly $20 billion, this is a quote, roughly $20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. This scheme was the first of its kind in EPA history, and it was purposefully designed to obligate all the money in a rush job with reduced oversight. It was parked at Citigroup. And Stacey Abrams Group Communities, Power Forward Communities, $2 billion. Let me explain. Let me say something. Okay, right. Let's do it this way. Let's talk about this story from this angle so people understand better. The whole thing was about cleaning up communities and disadvantaged communities based on climate change, right? So you have these disadvantaged communities. You have communities of color. I hate that term, but, I'm using it for the purpose of this explanation. There's no such thing as a community of color. It's just ridiculous terminology. But that's topic for another show. But let's say you have things like carbon emissions that you want to reduce in communities of color. I'm sure that's something that needs to be done. People can't eat. Kids are reading at a lower pace. There's poverty. There's no jobs. There's no hope. And carbon emissions you need to reduce in communities of color. Okay, that's your obligation. That's what you want to do. Let's say that's what you want to do. So you give $2 billion. But don't you think if you were a Stacey Abrams type or someone like that and you can get $2 billion, why wouldn't you get the $2 billion to do more important things with it? Seriously, think about that. Let's assume for a second this was on the up and up. Well, we know it's not. But let's assume that it was. Let's assume you're really trying to help people out. Because let me tell you, if I've got my mom, I've got an entity, I've got a thing out there, right? Let's say I started a nonprofit, and I can get $2 billion from Donald Trump. What do you think I would do with it? $2 billion with a B. I would give it to the schools. I would fix the schools in the poorest zip codes in the city of Atlanta. One, I would start an all-boys school, and I'd give some money to my boy down in Albany, Georgia, with his all-boy project, the X School for Boys. I'd be like, hey, how much do you need? I got $2 billion with a B. How much do you need? Man, Shell, we could, and knowing him, he would say, yeah, we could use about $5 million, to be honest with you. That'll get us up and running, get our building up and running. Okay, here you go. Here's 10. I got $2 billion with a B. And you want to focus on climate change in communities of color? And I'm supposed to believe you care? What could you do in communities, disadvantaged communities, white and black, Hispanic, communities of color, with $2 billion? Would you focus on carbon emissions? Would you focus on cleanup? Well, I mean, this is crazy to me. And that anybody that sees this story, whether you're a supporter or not, that doesn't say, whoa, hold on, let me check this out. This is kind of silly. Reading programs, literacy programs. I got Helping Empower Youth. I've got the Black Man Lab. There's so many places I can give to. PrisonDoctor.org, who's helping families getting their kids straight. $2 billion with a B on climate change initiatives? Ridiculous. That's what should insult all of you. That you can get this kind of money and it doesn't go to the problems. That's what should incense you. If you were a supporter of Abrams during the 2 times she ran for government, that's what should incense you. You should be outraged that you can put your hands on $2 billion and you... Woo. Shelley went.